I recently saw a video that displayed and compared the size of different open-world maps based on square kilometers. Whenever Bethesda, Ubisoft, or any major name in game development announces that they are making an open-world game, one of their major selling points tends to be how the game has their biggest map yet. And they often talk about how big it is in the colloquial terms of miles or kilometers. Though, in games, they always seem to be this mysterious M distance that could mean anything. To a certain extent, everyone recognizes this is a marketing tactic, but the hype culture surrounding these games are willing to ignore that for the sake of wanting to experience the next big thing. Literally, the next virtually biggest thing. The common retort from people who don't prefer such wide open spaces was the refrain, "It doesn't matter how big it is if there is nothing to do in it." And more recently, thanks to Breath of the Wild, more people have been saying traversing and interacting with the world itself should be the game. Though people were also arguing for the importance of empty open worlds as early as Shadow of the Colossus. While small but extremely dense open-world games like the Yakuza series no longer even count in the conversation for some people because they aren't big enough. But in the world of object-oriented game development, the size of the environment, the size of the player, and the player's speed are all relative. I open Unity. Make a plane to run on, a tree, and a character orb. That tree will be a few M away, but if I reduce my character's speed by half, that tree is now twice as far away. That may look silly at this size, but if I scale down the character model, it suddenly feels more appropriate. So the dramatic irony here is that if you really want to make the biggest open world possible, you may actually be in relatively small digital spaces, which would save on how much RAM is required by any given moment of gameplay. My sneaking suspicion about Warframe's Railjack and Archwing levels is that they literally just resized their models based entirely on endo item drops being way too tiny, and occasionally the player's pet helmet loading into the level way too big. Bugs can often act as proof. Who knew? Stay true.